So I'm coming out to test the new GoPro Hero 6 Black and the Yi 4K Plus. This is being shot at 4K 30. They both support up to 4K 60. On paper, they are pretty similar in terms of specs, but not when it comes to price. The Hero 6 Black will cost you £499, that's the same in dollars, whereas the Yi 4K Plus will set you back £299, same in dollars. So basically, it's 200 quid less for the Yi. So with that price in mind, let's see how the quality compares in good light. And switching from the Yi to the GoPro, actually, there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of difference. Side by side, it's actually kind of astonishing how similar these are, again, considering the price difference. But if we zoom in by 5 times, the difference does become a bit clearer. On the right hand side, the Yi's footage, look at the grass. It's grainy, it's fuzzy, there's not a lot of detail there compared to the GoPro, which handles it a lot better. So let's do a walking test. I'm literally just holding both the action cams in my hand and walking normally. And the EIS, the electronic stabilization, is doing a fantastic job on both of the action cams. It's almost as if they're being used in a gimbal. It's really, really impressive. The leaves on the tree are getting a bit washed out and a bit blown out on the Yi's footage versus the GoPro, which retains its sort of detail and vibrancy of color. It also handles the sun just a little bit better than the Yi, but honestly, there's not a lot in it. I'm really sort of grasping at straws to tell a difference here, which again, the price difference, 200 quid, is pretty impressive on the Yi's part. But what about in lower light conditions? Well, I've come to my nearby park and I'm testing the stabilization and also the lighting. And if you look at the clouds at the top, the GoPro's footage does retain more detail. They're a bit blown out, the highlights on the Yi's footage, and that sort of then washes out the rest of the picture a little bit. They're both still pretty good, but I think especially in this lower light, the GoPro does come out on top. It's brighter, retains more detail, and has better dynamic range. Another quick test of the low light capability. I've got it set up in my living room. This is the Yi and this is the GoPro, which actually looks quite a bit brighter and nicer. The Yi's definitely darker, it loses a lot of the detail because of it, and I think the GoPro does produce a nicer image, especially in low light. It's also got a slightly wider field of view, so you seem to get a little bit more in the frame. This time I'm shooting at 4K 60, again with some quite tricky lighting, and there is quite a big difference between the two this time. With 4K 60, we don't get any stabilization, so you can see they're both a bit bumpy, but fairly similar to each other. The colors, the dynamic range on the GoPro really do put it out ahead. The Yi on the right is unnaturally purple, it looks really weird, whereas on the left it's super accurate and also quite vibrant. They're both really nice to use with touchscreen displays and voice control, so you can say start or stop recording or turn off, and it works well on both. There are loads of resolutions and frame rate options for both cameras, but the GoPro comes out on top in terms of slow motion thanks to its 240 FPS slow-mo at full HD, whereas the Yi tops out at 120 FPS. But they both do support the latest H.265 codecs when they shoot at 4K 60 and super slow-mo, which keeps the file sizes a lot smaller. Now from a usability standpoint, I think I prefer the GoPro overall. The menus are a little easier to navigate, although neither have the best UIs to be fair, especially on a small touchscreen, and it also does feel just a bit more responsive to use. The GoPro is also waterproof to a depth of 10 meters without any extra housing, whereas the Yi needs a waterproof case to go underwater, which does add extra weight and bulk, and also means you can't use the touchscreen while it's inside. So if you're into your water sports, the GoPro could be a better option. As for getting the footage off the cameras, well, you've got loads of options. They both support Wi-Fi, have USB-C, which is also used for charging, and obviously the microSD card, which you can just pop out and put in your computer. Now, GoPro is really pushing something called Quick Stories. The GP1 chip inside analyzes the GoPro's sensor information, and with the help of the Quick app, it automatically creates a really cool edit from your footage. The Yi Action app also lets you trim and share videos fairly easily, although the GoPro seems just a little bit easier to use. So which one would I buy? Well, it's tricky. These are both fantastic action cameras, and it's kind of hard to choose between them. In terms of pure video quality, I think the GoPro Hero 6 comes out on top, especially in low light, where we see the Yi 4K Plus fall behind just a little bit. But in good light, as like today, actually there's not a lot in it. And they both also have fantastic image stabilization at 4K 30. So to sum up, if you want the absolute best video quality and you don't really mind paying £499 for the GoPro, then go for the Hero 6. It is, in my opinion, the best action cam you can buy right now. But in terms of value for money, bang for buck, I think the Yi 4K Plus is a better option at £299. So let me know in the comments below what you think, whether you go for the GoPro or the Yi. Click at the top right to vote in the poll and let me know. Thank you very much for watching, guys. You can find links to both of these in the description below if you want to find out more or buy them. I'll see you next time right here on the Tech Chap. Thanks for watching.